What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back here with another video, and today we are finishing off this mock draft with round 5 of 5. So it's been a long journey, right? It's been definitely a long journey. It's been an interesting one. It's been a fun one. So as the season comes to a close, we will be doing one more of this series. We will be doing these sporadically throughout the off season. I'm not going to be a guy who posts every single week anymore, just because we're gonna keep the same freaking order apart from the end. So obviously as we come close to like the Super Bowl and stuff like that, where it won't really change that much, that's when we can make some more mock drafts and stuff. But I just want to let you guys know. Wow, the computer fan's already starting. It's going to be a great video. I just want to let you guys know on that just ahead of time. That's why I've been asking you guys for video ideas, because this is my big hitter series. It's like all the other videos, they get about 1,000 views, which is awesome. But like these ones, they can, like the starting ones usually get around 6,000, which is absolutely amazing. I love it. It's what brings you guys in. And I mean, as an entrepreneur, it is what also brings in some form of funds for your broke ass college boy here. But I just want to give you guys a little heads up on that. It's sad that this series is going to be coming to an end. We do have some time until the draft. I kind of wish that time would fly to it, but also like my bitch ass does not want to have to eventually like get my ass out of college and then eventually get a job and shit. Hopefully this becomes my full-time job. I want it to be. So if you guys want me to do this full-time, you guys can definitely make that happen. Hint, hint. So let's go with this. Let's rock it with this 141st pick. We have, of course, the Jaguars looking at an interesting spot here. Now, I think that we could beef up that interior of the defensive line along with Taven Bryan there. And there's definitely some guys here. Mustafa Johnson's a little bit underrated, if I'm going to be honest with you guys. I mean, there's some dudes like Xavier Kelly definitely shows some flashes. So these guys are a little bit underrated. Darrell Slayton's pretty good too. But I don't know if that's really worth the pick value. I mean, the number TDN rank says so. But again, if you guys are new to the series, these two guys are not declaring for the draft, in my opinion. So I think that's a little bit cheesy to take them, just because, you know, it kind of like helps out. And again, if there are guys who I take who do redeclare, that's also another thing. It's another reason for us to do another video. Guys will be dropped from this predictive board and all this roster shit. So just keep your eyes out for that. It's always more excuses to do more videos and for you guys to have a good time. Also, Mohamed Ibrahim also declared to go back to... I like how I say declared, like he's declaring for the draft, but then declares to go back. But there are guys here at the spot. Tyree Gillespie, definitely somebody who we could be looking at a team, maybe like the Lions trying to replace Jaron Harmon. If we're going to be honest there. Even the Eagles trying to replace McLeod. So there's definitely dudes here that I can see trying to move up for a strong safety. And there's a team that I don't know if I've chosen a strong safety for the Falcons. That's definitely a team I'm looking at. Richard LeCount is a free safety / strong safety hybrid. But Tyree Gillespie would be an interesting guy to, I mean, if you want to use LeCount to be able to replace DeMonte Casey, Gillespie could be a guy who can replace Keanu Neal. Honestly, that's a fun option. We're starting off the draft with a trade. This is, I mean, hey, I like it. This is probably the best part of the series, is just finding random shit to trade up for. We're going to be trying to flop the 7th round pick here just so we can at least have some extra draft capital in case the Falcons want to move up. Which, of course, I mean, it's 4 spots. You trade in a 6th. For them, obviously, Tyree Gillespie is going to be able to come in, replace Keanu Neal as that strong safety. If he's a free safety, these two guys, Gillespie and LeCount, are going to be able to work as a dynamic duo, and that's perfectly fine. Now, Jets, you guys do need a corner. That's 100% true. You guys do need a corner here. And looking at the guys who are available, Ambry Thomas, apparently he did not, he decided to opt out, so that's probably why he dropped a bit. However, he is pretty explosive, what some of you guys have been telling me. Robert Rochelle is a good guy. Marco Wilson is another one. Looking at the guys, I mean, Marco Wilson could be a really good option here. However, have we taken... We definitely have taken him. There's no way that they really disrespected my boy Roger McCreary like that. If they did disrespect him like that, that's absolutely disgusting. I hope they didn't. Josh Jobe would be not too shabby of an option, but if I'm not mistaken, he is a slot corner, and Brian Poole is pretty good. Tariq Casper-Fields is here as well. But we are actually going to be looking at a guy in Robert Rochelle out of Central Arkansas. You know, the one team that's really given Trey Lance problems? Central Arkansas. So I mean, if you're able to defend against really good quarterbacks like that, and I'm still a little bit low on Trey Lance just from his arm talent speaking, but I think that he has one of the highest ceilings in the class, hence why I'm fine with him going in the first. But Robert Rochelle was kind of a big problem for him. That's definitely a very key thing to look at, because if you're able to make some of the best look bad, that means that there's something you're doing right. Obviously, he is a little bit older as a redshirt senior, but that's okay. That's okay. I mean, on a team like the Jets, you can have a little bit of stability in a rebuilding environment there. Now, Texans, where do we go with you guys? We could definitely be looking to add some extra weapons to this squad. Marlon Williams is here. Let's just check out his size at 6'2", 220. I mean, he's a pretty built dude. 6'2", 220. That's a dense ass dude. We're gonna be looking at like an AJ Brown type territory for that type of weight to height ratio. We could be looking. We don't really need another stick like Will Fuller, which again I don't understand why they didn't trade him. I know that the Cheeseheads wouldn't give up the second, but shit. I mean, he's amazing, but he's always injured. So there's always problems there. We could be looking at another trade if we're going to be honest here. There are guys like Nick Eubanks. We could have the Jets be retrading up for a Nick Eubanks or anything. Kylan Hill as well. There's Jack Jones here we're probably going to take. Sedarius Hutchinson's another guard that we could be potentially taking. I think he might be a guard. If he's a center, you guys need to correct me on that one. Of course, I'll be doing my own research after the draft. But Zeus would be a fun power back in... Ooh, that's interesting. But with a guy like Chase Lucas on the board, we have the ASU corners here with Jack Jones and Chase Lucas. Let's see which one's younger. We had a redshirt senior. Ooh, he's going to be 24. Hopefully Jack Jones is a little bit younger. Damn, dude. So you got some ancient-ass people. I remember Arizona State's average age was like 25 or something. Like, literally older than what draft eligibility is. It's just insane. So we could be looking even at TJ Carter. I don't like that idea. You know what? Let's get some attitude up in here. Let's get Marco Wilson. I think that he's extremely underrated. How old is Marco? He's a redshirt junior, so at least he has a little bit of youth on his side. But Marco Wilson is, I mean, apart from throwing a shoe, he's a really talented player. I don't know why people disrespect him so much. We're back with the Jags, though. And realistically, I can see another trade back. I don't really see too many needs on this squad. We can get Sedarius Hutchinson to increase, to add some depth to that line. Honestly, with the value that it is right now, you don't really pass up an alignment at this spot. I think you got to go Sedarius Hutchinson, especially with the Eagles lurking right behind. I know you guys need a cornerback like no one's business, but of course, two of the guys that I would give you just went. So I think that we can take a little bit of a break on that one. Probably use your money. Well, of course, you don't have any money, but we might be trading back up for like a TJ Carter or something. Honestly, I know that you guys probably don't like TJ Carter, and I'm not a huge fan of him either. But, dude, TJ Carter ain't bad. Keith Taylor as well. He's a pretty solid player. You know, I wouldn't be too shy on pulling the trigger on a guy like him. Again, Ambry Thomas as well, if we want to look at him. He is definitely he's definitely a really talented player there at Michigan. You know, there's some guys here, even Tariq Castro Fields, apart from his ACL injury, like he has like sky-high potential. And that's something to definitely not look away from. So I'm looking at Keith Taylor or TJ Carter here. And you know what? We'll get TJ Carter. He's more of a man corner as well. If he's able to learn from Darius Slay, I think that's going to be probably the best choice. You guys have way too many needs. We're going to need to get some interior offensive line help for you guys as well. But we're going to go TJ Carter for now. Keep tuned because I think we might be having you guys trade back into this draft. But just keep tuned. Chiefs, we gotta go for a tackle if there's one here. Abraham Lucas is old as fuck, isn't he? He's a redshirt junior. Okay, I thought he was ancient. That was probably the guy who I just drafted. Abraham Lucas is gonna be the pick. There's no doubt about it. Washington State is more of a pass-heavy offense, and you guys gotta roll with it. Now, this is an interesting one for Tariq Castro Fields because I know that they have Armani Oruwariye. So, I mean, they could be going for a corner here. That being said, this is a spot where I can sniff a trade back. In a big trade back. Just because I don't really see the value for Tariq Castro Fields. That's definitely the next guy I would get. I'm trading up with the Cardinals because there's a guy on the board. Because if I'm not mistaken, we got Michael Carter, right? There's a guy on the board that I could definitely see being planted as a goal line back. So oh wow, they don't even have another pick. We're going to be potentially trading a 7th here. We're going to trade a next year 6th. So we're going to be able to do that. Then we're going to try to use our picks to be able to move up. But there's a guy on the board in Zamir White. That's going to be an excellent pairing. Like your Lightning and your Thunder. Zamir White's going to be that power back along with Michael Carter to prove that like he's going to be the true goal line power back. That's going to be awesome. I love that pick. I really do. Darius Hutchinson would have been this pick right here. If we want to look at the interior offensive linemen that are available, Cade Mays could definitely be a guy who you guys draft. Jarrett Patterson, Tyler Linderbaum, these guys are all available. James Empey as well, like Robert Hainsey as well. Like, dude, all these guys are really talented linemen. All these guys, I think, could potentially get a starting job. Alec Lindstrom's a center, but I know that obviously he can play guard if he wants to. That positional versatility might be something that we need. There's not really much that your squad needs. I'm telling you guys, the Raiders are kind of playoff ready. I'm going to get Alec Lindstrom. I've been used to be getting him like very high in the draft. He is a center. He's not going to be replacing Rodney Hudson, but he could be kicking to left guard and definitely sticking in right there. So I like Alec Lindstrom. His upside is great. And then obviously if Rodney Hudson ever wants to retire, he also can groom Alec Lindstrom into a successor. Just be able to get some value for that. Panthers, I know you guys needed corners like nobody's business, but who the fuck is here? Like, do we take a guy like Keith Taylor? He's more of a man corner, though, so I don't get that one. Ambry Thomas wouldn't be too horrible. Arizona State, there's more man corners as well. I'm trying to find teams that are more zone-heavy. That's arguably Tariq Castro Fields. I can't find a good value for this pick right here. We could be trying to like get a tight end here, but we already did. We already traded up for Hunter Long. So this is another spot where I can sniff a trade back. As much as I love giving you guys picks, I mean, we can go Dante Stills to pair him up on that interior with Derek Brown, which, I mean, I love Derek Brown. He hasn't been the greatest in the world, but he's definitely talented. But, yeah, I'm going to definitely look at probably, like, bouncing from this pick just to be able to get some extra value because we did, again, trade up. So looking at the guys who are here, I mean, I'm telling you, the Eagles might want to move up again. They don't have to. Like, they definitely don't have to. But they definitely might. Given the fact that the Eagles are probably going to want seeing like another center go, I think it's time for the Eagles to inch up a little bit, be able to give the Panthers a little bit of value for a minute trade up, and that's going to be great. So let's try to trade this one out. Maybe we'll try to get a 226 for a 232. Okay, we'll try to trade the 6th in for that 7th. Maybe we can drop in both 7ths. We can't. So we're going to try to get a little bit of value out of these just to be able to get some picks on the end of the draft. Try to keep the amount of picks equal because, I mean, the Eagles, you can't be trading away picks when you have so many needs. Even if it means you have to move down in the draft, I mean, you got to go for a guy like Tyler Linderbaum to be able to replace Travis Kelce. I mean, the dude's getting old. The entire line's getting pretty old. Your guys who are coming in are okay, but you're obviously seeing that they're not enough. Tyler Linderbaum is one of the best centers. I think he was the best graded center in the entire country. So him being able to step in is a really big move for the Eagles here. Now, Broncos, we all know that quarterback is kind of an issue for you guys, but looking at the guys who are available that's not named Desmond Ridder, I mean, like, can we go like Brock Purdy? Brock Purdy wouldn't be a bad guy in this offense. I think honestly you just need to continue building that team, and we're going to look at the tackles who are available. Cole Van Lanen should be around here. I don't know why they're disrespecting him so much. You know, I think that's kind of gross. Why I don't get that. I really don't get that. Cole Van Lanen has actually been playing really well throughout his entire career. So it is a little disgusting. So honestly, we're going to get Cole Van Lanen anyways because I think that's just absolutely gross to have a Wisconsin tackle who plays at a really high level that far down. I know you Broncos fans might not like it, but just be able to get Jawan James a backup at least, because we all know, I mean, he opted out for this year, and if we're going to be honest, guys who opted out, we're going to see how they come back, because usually guys who opt out are either going to come back way healthier and like a lot more rested, or else they could be prone to injury because their body hasn't been used to the type of impact. Now, Panthers, I think this is where you just got to say fuck it. You got to get one of these guys. I'm going to go for Chase Lucas here. I'm pretty sure he's pretty damn explosive as well. You got to get something in that that cornerback core. I don't think the Chargers want Parham to be their tight end too, but if we want to look at it, I mean, I know they have Joshua Kelly too. They don't really need any of these guys. Master T could be a sneaky third-round pick. We're going to be honest, guys. I think that the way he's been playing is really high level. Demetric Felton as well, if you want to pair him up with Josh Kelly. However, I don't think that's actually that as big of a need. As you guys can see, there has been some type of time in between like those two little split recordings, but I had to make sure that I studied the transition for you guys, but I don't think Demetric Felton is going to be the right pick, just given the fact that the backfield is already stacked. So after doing a little bit of thinking, I think I came to the conclusion. We already got our guard situation covered, Elijah Vera Tucker. Got our tackle situation covered with, of course, Alex Leatherwood. We still need a center. All these dudes are all up for contract. And there's a kid here in Jarrett Patterson. Don't know if he's going to declare due to the fact that, look at him, he's a redshirt sophomore. But it's Notre Dame. They have the best offensive line in the ACC. He's young, energetic. If they want to re-sign Pouncey to like a 1-year deal, they can and let Jarrett Patterson learn. But I'm telling you, this is a 5-star pick. I love it to death. Jarrett Patterson right here to just fill that line need up. And man, this team could be making potentially a Super Bowl run with how good this offensive line could be and how good the rest of the team is. Vikings, where do we go with you guys? We could definitely be looking at more of like a slot weapon here. If we want to look at a guy like Amari Rodgers, since obviously we want some type of guy with higher floor, due to the fact that, I mean, you guys already have a stacked wide receiver core. I don't think you guys need to be taking shots on guys at the moment, given the fact that your quarterback is indeed actually like not going to be around for that much longer. And then Kirk is high enough level to where he won't sacrifice the team's victory chances. So we're definitely going to be looking at Amari Rodgers here, looking at other guys who could be a fun guy. Marquez Stevenson could be a fun little dynamic weapon, but I don't see it. Tamorrion Terry is a big target, so if you want to, like maybe in the 6th round, you can take him because he's going to be a bigger threat. If you guys want Laquan Treadwell type of guy, that's probably where you want to go. But I think Amari Rodgers has proven himself to be a good separator. He deserves his round 5 selection. I mean, you think about it, he could be a lot like the guy on the Raiders, who I don't know why I'm bugging on his name right now, but it was in my head a second ago. You guys obviously know who the hell I'm talking about. I mean, the guy literally was there when Deshaun Watson won the championship. He's been through it all. Now it's Amari Rodgers' turn to be able to do that. Amari Rodgers has done a really good job coming back from his ACL tear, and that's the only reason why he's probably down here instead of up in the higher rounds. So Amari Rodgers is definitely going to be the guy here. If you want to see his age, right there, 1999, I mean, like he's going to be about 22, which is perfectly fine. Amari Rodgers is going to be that type of guy. High floor, slot type of wide receiver, man. I think that's going to be an excellent fit with the rest of the squad. Again, you're not going to be getting a 19-year-old here, but that's okay. Hey guys, if you're wondering why I don't like Tutu Atwell, I do actually have a report on him, and if you guys want to see it, I have him as an early 6th. But, I mean, if you guys want to see it, drop down in the comments section. I'll probably post a link to it if you guys want. Now, Cowboys, I think we do need a linebacker here. We've been dealing without the linebacker situation for a while. Dimitri Moore, I mean, we can look at Justin Rice here as well. Maury Garner. Ventrell Miller is pretty good too. But we're going to be going with Dimitri Moore. I think he's the guy with the highest ceiling at this point. And he's going to be able to replace that Sean Lee role and at least be able to get something going, right, guys? So next we have the Pats. Pats, where do we go with you? We can get some extra interior offensive line help, but I don't think we really need it. It's not something that's an exact need. If you guys want to get better in the run game, given the fact that you don't have a true quarterback yet, that Cade Mays, I mean, if you guys want to see where I rank him, apparently I don't rank him in the top 200, but I do rank Zion Johnson very highly as a center. It all depends on what you guys resign. And I think that you guys have enough money to resign people. It's just going to be a little bit tough. I think the offensive line is the biggest need, so that you guys are going to be doing that. Stephon Gilmore has expressed need to get the fuck out of there. So I think at this point we're either going down to Aaron Robinson here, or we're going to Jack Jones here. So, I mean, you can kind of take your pick of the litter here. Even Ambry Thomas. I know they like Michigan players. And you know what? Since they like Michigan players, we're going to go Ambry Thomas. Think of Josh Uche. Ambry Thomas is a guy who opted out this year. Michigan usually has high character guys who have a very high floor. So honestly, he's gonna be actually rested. His body's gonna be pretty healthy. I think it's gonna be a great choice for the Patriots. Now, Bills, we can get some extra interior offensive line presence for you guys with Cade Mays if we want. I don't think center is a big issue there. Cade Mays is going to be a monster guard. I don't know why he's not in my top. I haven't finished the list yet. It's probably why. But Cade Mays deserves to be on that list. I was like, I definitely have this guy, and then didn't. But to be fair, we do need to get some interior defensive line presence. Like, I'm going to definitely go to Daryl Slayton here. You could go Dante Stills, but I think he's returning, given the fact that his brother is leaving. Daryl Slayton is a guy who makes a big play all the time. You know, just being able to pair him up with Ed Oliver on that interior, dude, that's going to be sick. I like that. Now, Lions, we gotta get. I mean, we got some tackle for you. We got some interior offensive line probably for you guys as well. So I think we're good on those fronts. Realistically, we could be looking at a safety here, and like you got Tariq Thompson here. You have guys like Divine Diablo, who's also a very talented player. Ifeadi Melifonwu, one of my favorite guys. Talanoa Hufanga. I think he's extremely underrated. It's kind of disgusting how underrated Hufanga is. He makes a play on almost every play. He's always in there, and he has a really good work ethic as well. I think that's the right pick. Be able to put him underneath. I literally said his name earlier, Duron Harmon. I think that you're going to be cooking with Crisco. All right, let's go with the Colts. Let's look at what you guys need. We could definitely get some extra edge help here. I know linebacker, I think you have one dude on contract here, but with all the edges still available, Ellerson Smith is a guy 6'7". I mean, he's looking like a guy who we could be using. Let's see if Coons is extremely young, and he's not. So realistically, the upside for Ellerson Smith's really high if they don't want to keep Justin Houston there. Obviously, all of this changes with free agency signings. When we learn more about it, things will change. That's obviously why I will continue being able to produce videos, is because we have new free agent signings, new this, new that, and then obviously the draft order changing, and then as well as guys opting in or out. So keep your ears tuned out for that. Watch out for these videos, because keep your notifications on. Sometimes I'll drop a random video on y'all. So Ellerson Smith's gonna be the pick here. Just get some extra edge help there, man. Nothing wrong with it. And Washington football team. Where can we go for you guys? We could use a true goal line back if we want to. I don't think Javion Hawkins is a big need. Dude, Master Teague would be fun in this squad, though. Tell me about that, guys. I think Master Teague would be a nice ground and pound guy, because I don't think Peyton Barber's that great. Realistically, I think his yards per carry is usually garbage. Master Teague is worthy of this pick. I know, no trade back, but Master Teague is just fun. I think you just take the guy if you think he's worth it. Master Teague is definitely going to be that type of player. Ground and pound, heavy type of player that's going to be able to just go lights out for you guys. Bears, I think it depends, again, on what the hell you guys are going to do in free agency. There's a lot of things that a lot of ways that you guys can go. At this spot, I can sense a trade back, given the guys on the board. I mean, the Bears could definitely, honestly, as much as I love trading back for you guys, Cade Mays, they like to run the ball. And I'm definitely going to be going Cade Mays here. You know, when you think about it, guys, just think about it this way. Like, I heard that David Montgomery is considered as a top 10 running back in the NFL, and especially if they're going to be doing this rollout shit and then going to be running this more like RPO scheme, running's going to be a heavy part of this offense. Tennessee creates the best guards, arguably, for run blocking in the league, in the country. So being able to add Cade Mays to this squad, be able to put him with James Daniels and Cody Whitehair, you're going to have a very solidified interior. Because I'm pretty sure they have Jermaine Ifedi right now, and I'm not really fully down for that. Browns, where do we go with you guys? I mean, I guess we can go safety. This is where I'm like, what the hell? What do we do? Melifonwu would be a good guy in this squad. I'm not going to lie. I can really see him in a Browns uni. It might just be because their helmets are both orange. There's a minute chance of that happening. But let's look at other guys. I want to make sure that they didn't disrespect the guy out of Northwestern. The guy who made some insane pick. I think his name is like Joseph. That dude's insane. However, we could get some extra line depth, but we already did that too. There's not really much this team needs. That's the thing. This is where I could sniff a trade back. With guys like Nick Eubanks on the board, Jack Jones on the board for teams that need extra corner help. I mean, we could even take Jack Jones if we wanted to, and it wouldn't be a bad choice. Like if you want to get some extra depth. But I mean, I'm telling you guys, there's like a lot of really good talent on the board that just isn't being picked. Again, Mohamed Ibrahim not declaring he went to go back to Minnesota. We have Aiden Hutchinson, Desmond Ridder. I think same exact thing. Desmond hasn't said it yet, but it's pretty obvious that it should be, at least. I mean, I'm telling you guys, I'm going to just check out to make sure the Jets have not grabbed a tight end yet, but I'm pretty sure the Jets are going to be trading up at this spot, because I think that's just so worth it. If you guys haven't gotten tight end, which I don't think you have. I did not pick a tight end that highly for you guys. The Jets are trading up because the Bengals, like, what the hell do you need? Realistically, like, what? I mean, Bengals, the Browns, what do you need? Your team is super stacked. There's a reason why you have Super Bowl aspirations. I think we're going to have to toss in that 7th rounder there, and we'll get a 7th in return from the Browns, but trading a 6th and a 7th, the move up back into the 5th round to be able to select a guy like Nick Eubanks, checking out the other tight ends available because we need to get a tight end. Jake Ferguson's another great option. I mean, if you want to look at the age, maybe see like redshirt senior there. Oh my God, please don't tell me he's 25. He's gonna be 25. That dude's ancient. Screw that guy. We have a redshirt junior here who's literally going to be 3 years younger than him. I mean, Jake Ferguson definitely is somebody on my list. You can look at Jeremy Rucker as well. Man, dude, that guy's almost as old as me. Dude, we're taking Jeremy Rucker at this spot, man. I'm telling you. I like Ohio State tight ends, man. I'm telling you. I mean, that might just be because I'm biased as a Ohio State fan, but Jeremy Rucker's a beast. I'm telling you. I don't know why he's so disrespected, but dude, the guy's literally going to be 20 at the draft. He's going to be turning 21 that year. That's great. You're getting some great value there. Now, this is where the Jags can add some interior defensive line presence. I think that's like a solid option, unless you guys want to use... I mean, you guys don't really have a really good scat back. You can look at Kylan Hill here, and you can just like look at all this shit if you guys want to. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't think that Kylan Hill's the best option out of these guys. If you guys want to go for like just balls to the wall, Javian Hawkins, he is fun. Like if you guys want a real receiving back, we're gonna do it. He's super young too. Javian Hawkins, his only concern is injury, and then you have James Robinson. Be able to like keep some tread on those tires for Robinson and have him for the long haul, because Javian Hawkins can work as a true RBBC. And that's gonna be awesome. Niners, we need to get a backup for, of course, when you don't keep D Ford. And looking at the guys who are available, you can look at Jeremiah Moon, but I think Tyreek Smith is the best option here. No trade back needed. Tyreek Smith, extremely underrated by TDN. Ohio State is just insane with their pressure rate. Absolutely awesome. Tyreek Smith is definitely a part of it. Now, Vikings, I mean, man, why do you guys, I mean, at this point, can we just let Jack Jones or Aaron Robinson be out, like, just, like, dip? He's a true slot corner, and you guys don't need a slot. But we're going to definitely go Aaron Robinson here just because, like, why not? Honestly, why not? I think he's going to be a good option. They can have Mike Hughes there out of UCF. So Aaron Robinson's just going to add some extra cornerback depth. It's the 5th round, for Christ's sakes. These guys are just too good of value to be able to pass up. And again, I mean, Brady's squad here, I don't know. Like, this is where we're going to take a quarterback. This is where we're going to take Brock Purdy. Again, I don't understand why there's so much hate on Brock Purdy. He's not that ass. He makes some really head-scratching decisions. Hence why he's a round 5 quarterback. He was supposed to be round 1 this year. So I think we need to put some respect on his name. He's not that ass, and that's why he goes here. Titans, this is where we can actually beef up the line a little bit, because I think that you're going to keep Brown, Jayon Brown. I believe that's the guy who's on contract here. And then you don't need a backup quarterback by any stretch of the imagination. Tackle, I mean, you guys literally have the guy that you drafted, last year? And then, well, not last, like this year, then year before, Isaiah Wilson, to be able to take that spot. But looking at the guys who are available, you got David Moore here, who, I mean, I just don't even know anything about David Moore. I'm going to be honest with you guys. But we could look at a center if you guys want a replacement for, I'm forgetting who your center is. But looking at these BYU boys are just really good. Like, I think that, like, you see those run lanes, man. And you got a guy like Derrick Henry on the spot. I think James Empey is probably the higher ceiling guy because he can play center and guard. Realistically, his IQ is going to be higher. We're going to do it. Honestly, you guys might not like that pick, and you guys probably want to trade back, but James Empey will definitely go before the 5th round. You can count on me on that one, and I think it's just a little bit gross. Even Ben Brown, I don't know why he's being so disgustingly disrespected. Like, he's not that bad. He's not that bad. I think he's definitely draftable, and they're saying he's not, which is just gross. Seahawks, we can definitely rock on that edge train. There's a lot of dudes here who we can take. I want to just check out who probably the youngest guy is on the squad. I mean, all these guys are probably within a year of each other. I don't know anything about... Oh, actually, I do. I know about Kingsley. Kingsley's actually a beast. Hold up. No, this is disrespecting Kingsley Enagbare. Like, these guys are actually really fucking good. That's so disgustingly underrating Kingsley right there. He's doing really damn well there for South Carolina. I don't know. That's just gross. Now, of course, Buffalo. If you guys want a guy out of Buffalo, I mean, yeah, that could definitely be a guy. They do like to go for undersized people. So, of course, D'Angelo Malone would have fit that a little bit better. Ali Gay is another guy on the board right now that we could definitely take. He's young and has a very high upside. Again, you're in win now mode, so I don't think you really need to worry about that. Jeremiah Moon would be fun. I mean, realistically, it says redshirt senior here, but if you think about it, he's actually not that old. He'd be a fun type of dude. I remember they took a guy out of Florida before. I'm telling you, I forgot his name. I used to be a huge fan of him, but he just never really amounted to anything. But Jeremiah Moon's worth taking a shot on. I know they like Florida guys, so might as well get some extra Florida edge there. He has a lot of experience, and he's not that old. He's going to be 23 by the end of the season. To me, that's perfectly fine. Niners, where do we go with you guys? Is this where we can take a quarterback or something? I don't think so. I think you can get a true slot weapon if you guys want to. Tutu Atwell would be a fun gadget weapon in the squad. If you guys want to get your Marquise Goodwin 2.0, this is where I think it's okay to take him. So it's either him or Reggie. And again, let's check out their ages. We got like late 1999 here. I think Reggie is a senior, right? Yeah. So Reggie's shown that he's been pretty damn good, but he did get an ACL tear. So it is really unfortunate as an SMU boy. But I'm going to be going for Tutu Atwell here, just based on his upside. Seeing his pure burst of speed, I think that he is very similar to a Tyreek Hill in that aspect. We were thinking about them getting Ruggs in the first round last year. They didn't get to do that. So Tutu Atwell is definitely going to be the guy for this job. Ravens, this is where we can like look at interior offensive lineman, or we can look at a tight end if we want to, like a Jake Ferguson. You can even look at Trey McKitty, who's pretty damn solid. So, I mean, it's up to you guys. But I think you guys like these more receiving tight ends. Jake Ferguson's a little bit underrated at this point. He was supposed to be like a second-round tight end coming into this year. So I think that this is a great spot to add an extra receiving weapon on that squad. You already have Nick Boyle. His name's Nick. You already have Boyle there at tight end, and he's going to be a pretty damn good blocker for you guys. Probably the best blocking tight end in the country, / in the league. But I mean, Jake Ferguson's going to add another receiving weapon for Lamar Jackson. No more excuses. This is where I guess we have to take David Moore. I assume out of the respect for him, we got to take him at this spot. Again, no trades, which is unfortunate, but it is the way it is. This is the way it was set up. I mean, looking at the guys who are still available, do any teams need a corner? I mean, the Chiefs kind of need a corner. So Jack Jones could actually be that Kendall Fuller replacement at slot corner. So, I mean, I guess we could take it. Why not, guys? Why not? Jack Jones, going to be a fun guy here. And there are teams that still need interior defensive linemen. I mean, one of them kind of being the Chiefs. But, man, can we just, like, end off this draft without trading? Just because there's, like, a lot of guys who are really good at the spot? I guess. Because Dante Stills, I mean, again, I think I'm not going to take him just because I think he's going to return. But there are guys like Jordan Williams here. Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown's disgustingly underrated. You look at a guy like Corey Durden. There's some really good guys on the squad. You can look at these Florida State guys. I mean, if you look at the records, you'll see that Javonte Williams and Michael Carter had a pretty tough time against Florida State. I think in a run-heavy division, like, of course, the Chiefs, I mean, you see, obviously, you have Josh Jacobs there. You have, like, Austin Eckler there. You need to plug up that middle so that your linebackers can play the zone run game pretty well. We already did get linebacker for them. I think this is a good spot. No trades, guys. Corey Durden's going to be a big plug up in the middle. I think it's going to be a great addition. I mean, man, we could get interior defensive line for the Panthers as well. I think we traded back at this spot. So this is a trade. This is a traded pick here. So if we want to see, I want to see potentially who else is in the draft. So guys, unprofessionalism, but there we go. Cowboys could technically move up. I mean, looking at the guys, wow, there's another freaking Chiefs pick. Jeez Louise. I guess it doesn't really matter who's left in this because we can always trade back up. There are teams that could use an edge player, like the Steelers. But again, I've already traded up like 1 billion times with the Steelers. We're not going to be doing that. I mean, who could use an edge player? The Ravens could definitely have used another one. But, I mean, honestly, the Jets could be moving up again. Realistically, the Jets could move up again. I think that would be a good option because this team doesn't really need anything else, does it? I don't think so. So we are... Actually, dude, the Eagles need a backup running back. You guys might not like that, but, dude, the Eagles are so moving up. Screw all you Eagles fans who keep saying that you don't need it. You guys don't have the cap to re-sign. Wait, why did I go for the Panthers there? Well, we'll select the Panthers here. The Eagles are going to be trading up with the Panthers to be able to select a running back because they need to. Because, I mean, if you guys aren't living under a rock... Boston Scott's on contract here, and they have absolutely zero cash. So looking at guys who are available, Kylan Hill would be a fun guy to add to that backfield. Demetric Felton is a little too similar to Miles Sanders. If you want a fun guy, look for Trey Sermon, Elijah Mitchell. I don't know why I said Mitchell wrong. I said Elijah correctly, but Mitchell wrong. I'm telling you, I'm kind of sketched out because I'm pretty sure he is a senior, but there is a guy from Oklahoma, Ramondre Stevenson. This is the most disgusting, gross, asinine, underrated player on this entire board, besides Nick Bonito. I don't understand that you guys probably just don't do any studying on these guys, and then they just put them at the end until they actually know who's where. But I'm telling you, this is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting, and I'm still taking him. Ramondre Stevenson, if you guys see him, he has a couple of fumbles here and there, but dude, this guy is an absolute animal. I don't get it. Like, we'll look at the other running backs, but that's just gross. Elijah Mitchell out of Louisiana had pretty sure he had like an 8-touchdown game along with Jarrett Patterson as well. Jarrett Patterson would be a fun guy to add to this squad. Honestly, as much talking as I did Ramondre Stevenson, I think he's definitely worth the pick. But Jarrett Patterson's going to be a fun guy to be a rotational running back piece for the squad. Eagles fans, come at me. I dare you. Packers, this is a spot where we could possibly trade back as well. Not really too much good value for you guys on the board. We could take a safety, though. Divine Diablo is still on the board. Melifonwu is on the board. Honestly, Melifonwu is really damn well. I'm really good. He covered very well. That's what I meant to say. For when Andre Cisco was out this year, he was playing his mind out. I think he's worth this pick. I don't care who you have at safety. It's a good rotational piece. Somebody who can grow underneath and learn. Cowboys, we're coming up on the last picks. It's kind of sad, to be honest. I don't like it being on the last picks. This is where we could add an extra tight end. Like a guy like Nick Eubanks, who is going to be 25. This is where we could just add some extra depth to add extra offensive weapons for Dak. Because you guys kind of are in win now mode. It's a weird in-between. So we either need some offensive line depth, or else we need to get some extra weapons, because why the hell not? Looking at it, how old is Robert Hainsey? He's a senior. I don't know. Where would you guys go with this pick? Drop that down below. I mean, Tristan Hodge wouldn't be a bad guy to back up. He's like a high floor type of dude. But let's look at the tight ends again. Excuse me. Trey McBride's not bad. Hendershot's definitely not bad either. Forrestall, I don't understand why these guys are being super underrated. Bushman's still really solid, even though he got replaced by Isaac Rex. Trey McKitty could be a fun guy to have. Honestly, Trey McKitty, he was a pretty damn good weapon for Florida State. I think he'd just be a good rotational guy on this squad. It's either him or Nick Eubanks, and I'm bugging between the two. One of them's literally That's technically it's only 2 years and 2 months difference. So I guess it's not that big of a deal. We're going to go Nick Eubanks. Just add like a high floor type of dude. An older guy who you're probably not going to have as a franchise guy, but somebody who can definitely fill in and do a really good job. Leaving, of course, the Chiefs, arguably, the second to last pick? Oh my god, what the hell happened to the hair? It's ridiculous, guys. Leaving the Chiefs here, and they're like, ooh, what do we do? We can look at some guys on the board, like Ali Gay. Speaking of a team that can both be win now as well as going to be good in the future, you're going to need some extra edge prospects on the squad. So I'm going to be going Ali Gay here just for fun. The last pick of the draft. What do we do? There's such a big cornerback need for the Falcons that can we go for a corner here? I think that the only guy I would have seen fit here was, of course, somebody who we already took in Marco Wilson. I think this is where you need to spend your money in free agency, especially if you get rid of Josh Jobe would be fun, but again, you already have somebody there in the slot. But I think this is where we see a trade up. I'm bugging. There we go. I think the Lions are trading back into the last pick of this draft. I'm technically forcing this because I think that he would probably be down there, but I think Tariq Castro-Fields is going to be a great selection. So we're going to have to package a couple picks here. We're going to possibly package a 4th and a 6th just to see what happens. So technically we could possibly just do that, and then maybe we can see if we get a 7th back. Yeah, so we're sending a next year 4th and a 6th for this year 5-7, and that's going to be perfectly fine because the Falcons have way too many picks. So that's going to be great. With the value on the board, I think that a guy like Tariq Castro-Fields has the ceiling to be able to come back from his injury and play really damn well. So I'm glad it didn't kick me out, but that's the video, guys. I really do appreciate you guys supporting me through this series. Got one more to go until we start doing weird things, like maybe we might do like a weird mock draft, crazy mock drafts, weird shit like that. Doesn't really matter. I really appreciate you guys always supporting me, getting with me on this journey. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you on the far side, guys. Peace.